Hello dear viewers, I welcome you to my YouTube channel Learning Digitally, a platform to explore the fascinating world of linguistics. In today's video, we embark on an exciting journey to understand the diverse aspects of linguistics, ranging from its micro perspectives to macro details. So let's begin by understanding what linguistics is all about. Dear viewers, all human languages are made up of sounds arranged in such ways that they communicate meaning or express feelings or attitude. The sounds come first. In fact, when writing had not been invented, the sounds of languages existed. The study of sounds, that is, how they are produced and described, is called phonetics. The study of how these sounds are arranged in a language, that is, the sound pattern of a language, is called phonology. So these sounds combine to make small units of meaning which are called morphemes. For example, boy, girl, or we are ending with ish and ace are morphemes. So they express meaning on their own or in combination with other morphemes. Thus we can make the new words boyish, girlish, girls and boys with these morphemes. The study of how words are made, that is, the shapes of words, is called morphology. So, when words combine together in sentences, they do so according to certain rules or structures. These rules are basically rules of syntax. If we want to know how sentences are formed in a language, we study its syntax. So friends, now that we have our sentence, we should what they mean. The study of meaning is called semantics. Hence, these are the four main aspects of the study of a language, but some people also add another study, that of language in real life situations. This is called pragmatics. So friends, pragmatics deals with the way people actually use words in daily conversation. For instance, if someone asks me what time it is and I say the news have not started yet, that will know what time it is only if he or she knows that the news start at such and such time. So the study of implications, the use of titles, words of politeness and rudeness, etc., come under pragmatics. Therefore, linguistics is the scientific study of language encompassing various facets of human communication. It explores how language works, how it is structured, and how it evolves in diverse contexts. Dear viewers, linguistics is encompassing the analysis of its structure, meaning, and use. It explores the principles and patterns that underlie spoken and written communication, as well as the ways in which languages evolve, change, and function within different contexts. So, linguistics is a multidisciplinary field that draws from various disciplines, aiming to understand the fundamental nature of human language and its role in communication and cognition. There are two major types of linguistics. One is a microlinguistics and second is a macrolinguistics. Micro and macro types of linguistics refer to two different levels of linguistic analysis, each focusing on distinct aspects of language. So let's explore them in detail. Microlinguistics deals with the detailed analysis of specific linguistic elements within individual languages. It focuses on understanding the internal structures, sounds, and rules that govern language at a granular level. Microlinguistics allows linguists to study the building blocks of language and understand the intricate systems that underlie its structure and meaning. Whereas macrolinguistics, on the other hand, deals with the language at a higher level, focusing on broader aspects that encompass multiple linguistic elements and their interactions. So it involves the study of language in relation to society, cognition, and larger linguistic patterns. The main branches of microlinguistics include number one, phonetics. Now let's zoom in on the micro level of linguistics, starting with phonetics. This field explores the physical properties of speech sounds and how they are produced and perceived. For example, think about the different sounds we make when pronouncing the word bait versus pate. Phonetics helps us understand the subtle differences in these sounds. Then phonology. Our linguistic microscope moves to phonology, where we delve into the sound patterns and rules within a specific language. For example, consider the English word kids. Phonology explains why we pronounce the plural s sound as a z in this context, while in dogs it's pronounced as s. Then, friends, another type of the microlinguistic is the morphology. It is a micro branch that investigates the structure of words and how they are formed. It means it examines the internal structure of words and the rules for forming different word forms. For example, inflections, derivations. So, in English, the word unhappiness is formed by adding prefixes and suffixes to the base word happy. Here, un is a prefix and ness is a suffix. So, morphology helps us understand the building blocks of words. Another branch of the microlinguistics is syntax. Syntax deals with the arrangements of words and sentences. So it analyzes the arrangements of words to form grammatical and meaningful sentences. For example, compare the dog chased the cat with the cat chased the dog. So syntax explains how word order changes the meaning and structure of the sentences. Another type of the micro linguistics is semantics. It is the study of meaning in a language. Therefore, it explores the meaning of words, phrases, and sentences in a language. For example, consider the word bank, which can mean a financial institution or the side of a river. Semantics explores how words carry multiple meanings and how context influences interpretation. Then, pragmatics. It shows the use of language in various contexts and situations. Therefore, it studies how language is used in context and how meaning is inferred beyond the literal interpretation. Dear viewers, now we are discussing the macrolinguistics, another type of the linguistics. Macrolinguistics, on the other hand, deals with the language at higher level, focusing on broader aspects that encompass multiple linguistic elements and their interactions. The primary branches of microlinguistics include philosophical linguistics. This branch examines the philosophical aspects of language, focusing on questions about meaning, truth, and nature of language itself. It explores how language shapes our understanding of the world and delves into the relationship between language and thought. For example, analyzing the philosophical implications of language's ability to convey truth or falsehood and how language can shape our perception and beliefs. Another branch of macrolinguistics is stylistics. Stylistics explores the expressive and artistic use of language, analyzing how different linguistic features create distinct styles in literature, poetry, and other forms of communication. So, friends, it seeks to understand how language choices influence the emotional and aesthetic impact of a text. For example, examining the use of metaphors, alliteration, and rhymes in a poem to understand how they contribute to its artistic beauty and emotional appeal. Another branch of macrolinguistics is sociolinguistics, a very famous branch. This branch examines the relationship between language and society, studying language variation, multilingualism, language policy, and language attitudes. It delves into how social factors like gender, age, and social class influence language variation and usage. For example, in some cultures, certain linguistic features might be associated with politeness or formality, while in others they may be perceived as casual or informal. So, social linguistics helps us understand how language reflects the social dynamics within a community. Dear learners, psycholinguistics is also branch of the macrolinguistics. Psycholinguistics is a captivating branch of linguistics that takes us into the realm of the human mind and language processing. Psycholinguistics study how we comprehend, produce, and acquire language. Therefore, it investigates the psychological process involved in language comprehension, production, and acquisition. Imagine you are listening to a new language for the first time. Psycholinguistics investigates the mental process that enable you to make sense of sounds, recognize words, and understand the message being conveyed. Anthropological linguistics. Anthropological linguistics explores the relationship between language and culture. It investigates how language shapes social identities, kinship systems, and rituals, and how cultural practices influence language use. For example, investigating how certain indigenous communities use kinship terms and rituals that are intricately tied to their language and cultural practices. The neurolinguistic is also a branch of the macrolinguistics. This branch explores the neural basis of language processing in the brain, understanding how language is represented and processed. The example of neurolinguistics is to consider cases of language disorders that are resulting from brain damage. So, neurolinguistics unknots the mysteries of how specific brain areas are involved in language comprehension and how damage to those areas affects language abilities. Friends, then cognitive linguistics. Cognitive linguistics is a charming branch of microlinguistics that investigates the interplay between language and cognition. It studies the connection between language and cognition, exploring how language reflects conceptual systems and shapes the thoughts. For example, let's explore how metaphors shape our understanding. The metaphor time is money illustrates the cognitive connection between time and economic value, influencing how we conceptualize time. Then the language planning. Now, language planning is also type of the macrolinguistics. This branch deals with the deliberate efforts to regulate and standardized language usage within a community or a nation. It involves making decisions about language education, official languages, and language preservation. For example, studying how a government implements language policies to promote bilingualism or protect endangered languages within its jurisdiction. This is a very important type of the linguistics that works on the languages which are going to be extinct or which are in endangered process. Several countries are not making proper policies for their indigenous and local languages. They are using the lingua franca, therefore, their local languages are going to be extinct. Computational linguistics. Computational linguistics is a branch of the macro linguistics that combines linguistics with computer science to develop algorithms and models for natural language processing. It involves tasks like syntactic analysis, machine translation, speech recognition, named entity recognition, sentiment analysis, and etc. For example, creating chatbots that can understand and respond to human language input, improving human computer interactions, and so on. The mathematical linguistics is also a branch of the macrolinguistics. This branch applies mathematical and computational techniques to study the structure and behavior of languages. It uses formal models and algorithms to analyze linguistic phenomena. For example, using mathematical models to analyze the syntactic structure of sentences or represent language rules in a precise and systematic way. Another type of the macro-linguistics is the historical linguistics. Historical linguistics investigates language change over time and reconstructs ancestral languages. It helps trace the evolution of languages and their connections. For example, tracing the historical development of English and its connection to other Indo-European languages through the analysis of phonological shifts and word changes over centuries. So friends, these macro branches of linguistics offer unique insights into language's multifaceted nature, from its artistic expressions to its historical evolution and impact on society. Understanding these branches enriches our appreciations of language's role as a central aspect of human culture and communication. So, in summary, microlinguistics focuses on the fine details and specific components of language, while macrolinguistics examines language in relation to broader aspects such as society, cognition, and cross-linguistic patterns. Both micro and macrolinguistics contribute to a comprehensive understanding of human language and its multifaceted nature. Dear viewers, remember, linguistics is the key to separating the mysteries of language, communication, and human cognition. Whether you are interested in social language dynamics or the neurobiology of language, linguistics offers a world of possibilities to explore. And finally, thank you for joining me on this learning journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Learning Digitally for more captivating content. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning the wonderful world of linguistics. Goodbye, take care, stay blessed.